Hello, fifth grade students and families. In case you were wondering, this is definitely my first virtual culmination speech. We've had so many firsts this year, haven't we? We had the first day of school back in August. That seems like such a long time ago. That's when you became the big kids on campus. You went into your classes, you met your teachers and your classmates, and you learned the rules for each of your teachers, didn't you? Miss Bourget, Mrs. Lloyd, and Mr. Meyer. Fifth grade came with a lot of new responsibilities for all of you. You got to take turns holding the flag and leading the pledge during Marvelous Mornings. You did such a good job at that. We were so proud of you. You were the first people that were asked to help out in friendship circles to take the younger students back to their classes. You are the leaders of the elementary school. You took a field trip to the California Science Center. You silly stringed Mrs. Mandel and I to your heart's content after the readathon. I don't want to do that again. You filled shoe boxes for Operation Christmas Child, and you led the entire school on our walk to Bethlehem, one of my favorite activities. You came to science nights and created some really cool things. You had a blast at Colonial Days. You learned silly games, you made candles, you tried your hand at sewing. Girls, you enjoyed the father-daughter dinner dance, even if your dad really needs some help with his dance moves. I saw the videos. You had Valentine's parties, and you made pictures for people in nursing homes for VC Serves. Some of you made more than one. I loved your hearts for service. The reason I'm reminding you of all of these things is because it's easy in these crazy times to forget all the wonderful things we got to do at school as fifth graders. I know we were all disappointed by some of the things we didn't get to do, but let's instead focus on all of the things we did. In Proverbs 16:3, the Bible says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and then it will succeed." So whatever we do, in whatever place we find ourselves, if we commit ourselves to the Lord, things will work out. Romans 8:28 says that we know all that happens to us is working for our good if we love God and are fitting into His plans. It doesn't say that His plans will always be the same as our plans. In fact, I have found they usually aren't. But again, the Bible says that if we love God, He will use for good the things that happen to us. You have grown an incredible amount this year, certainly in size, but also in knowledge, in grace, and in faith. You can believe that nothing happened this year that was an accident or a mistake. When we're God's children and follow His plan, we can rest in the knowledge that in everything, in every way, God will stand alongside us and help us. That doesn't mean that everything will be great and just the way we want it, but it does mean that we will never walk alone. I wanted to tape this message in front of this wall in my home because it reminds me of the journey that you're on. You start out like this flower over here, so closely attached to your family, but slowly over time, you start to make your own way. Right now, you're still pretty connected as you should be, but as you move on to middle school, you will spread your wings a little more and then a little more, and you'll go where God leads you. As you grow and fly, you will change, but always, always remember the people here at Village that taught you and love you. Please stop back next year to say hello to your teachers, the aides, and Mrs. Mandel and me. We love to see you. Because you see, even though you've moved on to middle school, we still miss you, and we still pray for you. And always, always, we love you. Fly far, fifth graders.
Hello, my name is Kristen Reynolds, and it has been my privilege to serve as the PTF president this past year. I'd like to thank Mrs. Chespack, Mrs. Mandel, and the fifth grade teachers for the invitation to represent the Parent-Teacher Fellowship by presenting this year's Academic Achievement and Crusader of the Year awards. For each award, one student from each fifth grade class was selected. The student with the highest grade point average is chosen to receive the Academic Achievement Award. It is my joy to announce the following winners. For Mrs. Lloyd's class, Annika Lee Miller. For Ms. Bourget's class, Lucy Robel. And for Mr. Meyer's class, Kaitalin Kanyanas. The Crusader of the Year Award is given to the student who demonstrates Crusader spirit in both word and deed, as well as significant academic achievement. The students that earned the Crusader of the Year awards are, from Mrs. Lloyd's class, Noelle Donnelly. From Ms. Boget's class, Slater Mersola. And from Mr. Meyer's class, Brooks Bennett. The Parent-Teacher Fellowship is proud to support these students with a $250 scholarship that is applied to next year's tuition. Please join me in honoring these students for their hard work and excellent conduct. Thank you.
All right, this is gonna be so fun. We're about to go surprise our Volunteer of the Year, Courtney Mitchell, at her house. So you guys all know Courtney. She has done so much for this 5th grade class, from being a room mom, to serving on PTF, to organizing field trips, and all the parties and things like that. So let's go surprise her, come on. Congratulations, you are the Volunteer of the Year, the 5th grade, Village Christian School.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
Ah, thank you for all you've done for the class, the 5th graders. Volunteer of the Year, you guys, how about that?
That's pretty cool, huh? We miss school so much. I think Mom misses school more than them because it kept me busy. Thank you. We miss everybody.
Hi, Austin. I am so glad that you were part of my class this year. Your creativity is something that I'm never going to forget. Your ability to see the world, to solve problems from a unique perspective that's truly your own, I think it really is a gift from God. I believe that God has a plan for this gift, and my prayer to you is that when that need arises, that you'll see it, and that you'll be able to use that gift that God has given you. As you head to middle school, I just pray that you'll grow academically, you'll grow spiritually, and you'll become the person that God wants you to be. I hope you have a great summer, and again, thanks for being in my class.
Hi, Sophia. I am so happy I could make this little video about you. It was wonderful having you in my class in Kindy. You were very quiet, but little by little, you began to blossom. You made some wonderful friends and started participating in class more. You were a really hard worker. I could always depend on you. As you go into middle school, I pray that you will continue to grow and blossom, and that your love for Jesus grows even stronger. Blessings on this new adventure. I love you.
Hi, Stephen. I have so enjoyed having you in my class this year. You are really an incredible student, and you always had this ability to give me way more than I asked for. Learning mattered to you, not just for the grade, but to actually learn was important, and I think that was really impressive. I also really enjoyed our talks, how we would talk about character and what is good character and how you develop good character and how you took those conversations to heart. As you head to middle school, I really do hope that you will continue to pursue God, you'll continue to pursue that idea of character and what good character is, and that you will be one of those students who has a positive effect on the people around them. I hope you have a great summer.
Hi Connor, I enjoyed having you in my class your first year at Village, your 4th grade year. There are a few things that I noticed about you right away. Your love for the Dodgers, your willingness to do whatever is asked of you, your soft-spoken nature, and your loyalty to your friends. In fact, you jumped in on day one and made friends right away and maintained those relationships throughout the whole year. So I pray that as you go into middle school, you continue to grow in those relationships, making new friends, but also maintaining the relationships that you have.
Hi EJ, I have loved having you in PE class over the past couple years. You're one of the hardest working students I have, and you always give me 100% effort. I appreciate that. Another thing I admire about you is that you are humble. You are an amazing actress, and it's hard to be humble when you have a true gift. As you transition into middle school, I hope you continue to be a light to everyone. Everyone loves being around you. You just continue to be that positive source in their lives. You're going to be amazing.
Hi Brooks. It's been such a blessing to have you as part of the Village family for the last few years. I was especially thrilled to have you join the choir family this year. Something that always impresses me about you is your attitude of joy. No matter what kind of day you've had or how crazy your week has been, you always come into the music room with a smile on your face and a joyful attitude ready to work. You're a hard worker and you try your best at everything. My prayer for you as you go to middle school is that you keep spreading that joy of the Lord to other people, because you never know who needs it that day. Can't wait to see what you'll do. Love you lots. Don't forget to visit.
Hi, congratulations on completing your elementary school work. I remember your first day in 3rd grade. It was your first day at Village Christian School, and you came in and listened and were eager to learn. You did your work. You worked to your very best, and I was so proud of all that you accomplished that year. Congratulations on moving on to middle school, and remember, Jesus is your best friend.
Hi Jeremiah, I enjoyed having you in my class this year. One thing I appreciate about you is your love for your family and friends. Another thing I appreciate about you is how you stop to tell me stories and things that are on your mind. As you go to middle school, I pray that you continue to grow in understanding of God and His Word.
Hi, Sean. It was amazing to have you in my class this year. You are an incredible student. You always put in that extra bit of effort that I was looking for, and yet you seem to be able to do it without looking like you were trying that hard at all, which is pretty impressive. I also really appreciated how you were able to just take care of your friends and the classmates. You were always able to make everyone feel like they belonged. Whenever I put you in a group with somebody else, you had this ability to make them feel like family, and I think that's pretty great. As you head to 6th grade, I really do hope that this will be a time of both spiritual growth and academic growth, and I really hope that you will continue to follow the path that God has put before you.
Hi, Josiah. I remember so well when you were in my classroom for 4th grade. One thing I really appreciate about you is your joy. I also remember how much you loved learning. But my most favorite memory of you was watching you perform in the school play Annie. You were amazing. As you go into middle school, these words of the Apostle Paul are my prayer for you. I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ.
Avery, you have such a joyful heart and an amazing infectious smile that comes right along with it. Your positive attitude and enthusiasm made you such a pleasure to have in class. And thank you for all the times you came down to the art room after school to be so helpful, washing paintbrushes or putting away supplies. And I was able to have a little glimpse into your friendships as you girls had fun spinning in chairs, being silly, or laughing and giggling together. When I think of you, I think of Proverbs 31:25 when it says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future." And so I pray that you remain strong and confident and joyful as you reach for your dreams and hold on tight to your faith.
Hi Vivian, I enjoyed having you in my class in 4th grade, and one of the things that I noticed first about you and I appreciate about you is your confidence in your strength. You are uniquely you, and you don't let anyone change that. You're also a great friend. You're generous, kind, and loyal to those around you. So as you go into middle school, I pray that God continues to grow you in that strength and continues to strengthen relationships around you.
Ozzy, it was so much fun to be your teacher. I always loved your energy and your enthusiasm. When you participate in something, you are all in. I remember when you would go out on the field at recess, how much you loved playing soccer with your friends, and I believe you're still a great soccer player today. Ozzy, my prayer for you is that you never lose your enthusiasm for life and that you live your life all in for Jesus.
Hi AJ, I'm so glad that I was able to be your teacher for your 4th grade year at Village. What I appreciate about you is that you always put your best foot forward and you never give up. I've also seen you grow in confidence the past 2 years, whether you're on the stage performing or in the classroom. So as you go into your middle school years, I pray that God continues to guide you and that you lean on Him for everything.
Hi Jedi. We've been so honored to have you as part of the Village family for the last few years, and I've been especially honored to have you in choir. Something I noticed about you right away was your amazing courage. You jump right in and try new things without seeming afraid at all. It's like you were always a part of the Village family almost as soon as you got here. You love the Lord and you have great faith. And I pray that as you go into middle school, you have opportunities to use your courage and your love for the Lord to build up others. Don't forget to come say hi sometimes. Have fun. Love you lots. Hi Noelle. It's been such a privilege having you in music class for the last 6 years. Something I really admire about you is your amazing Christian character. You are super humble in spite of your great talent, and you care more for others than you care for yourself. You're a very hard worker and you're not afraid to try new things. As you go into middle school, my prayer for you is that you will continue to become confident in the gifts that God has given you. The world needs them, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. Love you lots. Don't forget to visit sometimes.
Caleb FARAG. It has been such a joy teaching you this year. You have the most gentle and kind spirit. Some of my favorite memories this year were times that you stepped outside of your comfort zone. Like the time you performed a rap about John Smith and ended up on the floor laughing. You are also a very creative comic book artist. As you head into middle school, I hope that you continue to grow in confidence and faith.
Hi Kevin, it has been so much fun having you as a student these past several years in Computer Lab, Makerspace, and during the summer as well. It is obvious that you have a love for Jesus that shines brightly. I see this in your servant's heart and your compassion that you show towards your friends and those here at school. I so appreciate the love for learning that you have. You set high expectations for yourself, and you've always done whatever it takes to achieve those goals that you have. Well, you're off to middle school. I pray that these qualities that you have obtained up to now only grow and help you achieve those high goals that you have set. And remember that God is with you every step of the way.
Isaiah, I'm so proud of you for completing elementary school work. I remember in 3rd grade how you were such an example of learning, eagerness to do your best, and giving me 100% of your effort. I've noticed that you choose to make right choices, and I would encourage you to continue with that habit in middle school. Keep Jesus as your best friend. Congratulations, Isaiah.
Dear Christian, I remember when you were in my 3rd grade class. One thing I noticed about you was your compassionate heart. You had a knack of noticing when your friends were hurting, and you were gifted at bringing a smile back onto their faces. When conflicts arose, you remained calm, and your friends could depend on you to bring peace into the situation. As you go into middle school, I pray the Lord continues to bless you with His presence, and that He fills you each day with love and peace, enough to share with those around you. God bless you.
Hi Sophia, I enjoyed having you in my class this year. One thing that I've noticed about you is that you are thoughtful and kind to everyone. Another thing that I appreciate about you is that you work hard without complaint. As you go to middle school, I pray that you continue to grow in determination and confidence in our good God.
Mark, I'm so proud of you for completing your elementary schooling. I remember in 3rd grade how you worked so hard. You gave me 100% of yourself and your mind. And it's been so delightful getting smiles and hugs from you when you pass in the hallway. May your time in middle school draw you closer to Jesus.
Hi Grayson, I enjoyed having you in my class this year. One thing I've noticed about you is that you're curious about God and you take your worries to Him. Another thing I appreciate about you is how you bring a smile to other people's faces and you enjoy being a blessing to them. As you go to middle school, I pray that you continue to grow in understanding and hope in our faithful God.
Dear Alexander, or I remember calling you Alex, I remember when you were in my 3rd grade class. At first, I remember you were quiet in groups and at times preferred to work alone. But as the year went on and your confidence grew, I loved watching you join in fully to the point that you often were coaching others in your team so that everyone could succeed. I appreciated that. As you go into middle school, I pray the Lord continues to bless you with His presence and that He fills you each day with confidence and understanding enough to share with those around you. God bless you.
Hi, CHERELLA. I remember so well your first days at VCS when you were in 4th grade. You made friends so quickly and so easily. One of my fondest memories of you is when you and a classmate were writing your Gold Rush journals and you wrote parallel stories as if you were traveling together to California. That was so creative. As you go into middle school, these words of Paul are my prayer for you. May your love abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight so that you may be able to discern what is best.
Annika Lee Miller, I am a better teacher for having had you in my class. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. I always appreciated your honest perspective and opinion. You never were afraid to say what you meant, but because of that, you gave the most genuine and generous encouragement. You have the heart of a fighter, and I cannot wait to see what you become. As you head into middle school, I pray that you would fall more in love with a God who loves you and draws close to you.
Hi Reese. I've so enjoyed getting to know you these past couple years in both the computer lab and in Makerspace. I remember when we first met in the computer lab and your tender heart and your kindness that you showed to your fellow classmates, your teachers, and to myself blessed each and every single one of us. I've always admired your high work ethic. You do what is asked with joy, excellence, and creativity. I've always loved seeing what you create. Well, you're off to middle school. I pray that you thrive in the things that you do and that you keep God first.
Hi Zaya, it was so great to have you in my class in 4th grade. I remember that you consistently put hard work and creativity into your school projects and they turned out great. I also remember that you would often give me hugs and just say thank you, which I really appreciated. As you head into middle school, I pray that you will always be a great encourager to your friends and to your teachers.
Emma equals excellence. You put forth the best effort into everything you did. You were meticulous and careful and creative at the same time. Your artwork was amazing, and even in distance learning, you rose to the challenges and even made multiple versions of some of the art projects, like the optical illusion one. And you have such a sweet disposition. You are quiet and respectful and have been a blessing to your teachers and classmates in that way. And I pray Psalm 24 over you, which says, may He give you the desires of your heart and may all your plans succeed. I know you have a bright future ahead and God has great things in store for you.
Miguel Lopez, I have loved being your teacher this year. You are an incredible student. One thing I admire most about you is that you genuinely want to learn. You ask really hard questions and you have to get to the bottom of things. But mostly, thank you for keeping me laughing. I will always remember the gentle and creative ways that you helped to keep the class quiet. As you head into middle school, I pray that you will be reminded that the God who created this insanely rich and complex universe knows you, loves you, and sees you.
Hi Dominic, I was very happy to have you in my class in 4th grade. I was always impressed by your integrity, your ability to do what you knew was right. I also loved seeing your creative drawing abilities. As you head into middle school, my prayer is that you will continue to set a good example for your classmates and that you will have lots of fun.
Brett, I have had the privilege of having all the McCollum kids in kindergarten. I can share that you, Brett, are a wonderful combination of your 2 older brothers, but with a twinkle in your eye. You are probably smiling now and a little bit embarrassed as you see this. You were a good student and an asset to our class. I so appreciated your sense of humor. And when some kids didn't get it when I was reading something, I knew that you always did. Brett, always follow God's leading as you enter middle school. There will be challenges, but work hard and have some fun. I love you.
Hannah, I was always struck by your sweet spirit and your quiet but confident love for Jesus. Your love for him was evident in the way you treated your friends, in the reasons why you made the choices you made each day, and in how you just loved to pray. You had such a sweet friendship with Jesus. And my prayer for you is that this relationship with Jesus grows even deeper as you continue to walk with him each day. Hi Slater, I enjoyed having you in my class this year. One thing I appreciate about you is that you are kind to all and that you are quick to ask forgiveness when you think you've done wrong. Another thing I appreciate about you is that you are humble and you think of others before yourself. As you go into middle school, I pray that you continue to grow in trust and belief in our dependable God.
Logan, you were one of those students that I could count on to be consistent. You would show up, listen, do the project, work hard, get it done, check, ready to move on to the next thing. And if you finished early, you would be helpful around the room by washing paintbrushes or doing whatever was needed. I enjoyed having you as a student through the years, and I will miss you as you move on to middle school. I pray that you would be a person that your friends could count on through the years ahead, and that you would remember that you have a God that you can count on. In Psalm 18 it says, "My God is my rock in whom I take refuge," and know that you can always turn to him.
Alex Nalshian, I am so glad I got to be your teacher this year. I will never forget the crazy voice you used in all of our Readers Theater projects, or the way that you would celebrate after every correct answer you gave. Let's go! I love your humor, your candor, and your enthusiasm. As you move into middle school, I pray that God would show you his goodness and that you would grow in grace and truth.
Hi, Suri. You know, I am so glad that God chose to put you in my class this year. It has been a real, true blessing, and I'm so grateful for it. Something that has impressed me, a lot throughout this year has seeing the loyalty you have for your friends. There really hasn't been anything you wouldn't do for them, and I think that is a true gift. Another thing that I've really appreciated is how, while we're walking in line, you always gave me a place to rest my arm as we were walking. It always made me smile, it made me laugh, didn't matter what was going on in the rest of the day. For that moment, it lifted my spirits, and I so thank you for that. As you head to middle school, I just pray that you would really have a time of academic and spiritual growth, that you would see the path that God wants you to follow and that you would follow it. I hope you have a great summer and stop by and say hi whenever you can.
Hey Asher, it has been such a pleasure being your science teacher for the last few years. You are a great kid, you are fun and friendly and energetic, and you just always came to my class with a smile and just such a great attitude. And as you move on to middle school, I just want to encourage you to do your best and work hard, and remember that you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength.
Hi, Kaitlyn. It was such a blessing for me to be your 4th grade teacher. One of the things I appreciate about you is your willingness to help. My best memory of you, though, was your personal reading challenge. how you set yourself a high number of pages to read, and when you met it before the end of the year, you just extended your challenge. As you go into middle school, my prayer for you comes from the book of Psalms. May God be gracious to you and bless you and make his face shine upon you.
Aria, I knew even before you came to kindergarten that you were going to be a leader. Grandma Lori shared stories about how you took care of your older brother. I was very excited to have you in my class. From the beginning, you were responsible and even suggested other ways of doing things. I just knew that if the office couldn't find a substitute for our class when I was absent, that you could do it. My hope and prayer for you is that you continue to use those gifts God gave you in middle school. I pray you will always love the Lord and seek him in everything you do. I love you.
Hi Charlie, I'm so glad that you were in my class in 4th grade. I love your enthusiasm for learning and the great ways that you participated in class. I also noticed that you worked hard to treat others with kindness and respect. As you start middle school, my prayer for you is that you will always let Jesus shine brightly through you.
Hi Lucy, I'm so glad that I was your first teacher at Village your 4th grade year. I've enjoyed getting to know your quick wit and your humor last year and this year. You're also very inquisitive. You're always asking questions, always curious, always researching. So as you go into middle school, I pray that God continues to make you curious about the world around you and that you never stop asking questions.
Hi Emily, I have so enjoyed doing science with you over the past few years. I always appreciated your fun and helpful spirit and the way you interacted so kindly and positively with all of your classmates. And I hope you made some great memories here in elementary school. And as you move on to middle school, I just pray that you are excited about learning new things and that you would just realize that God has given you such incredible gifts and talents that he wants to develop in you to make a difference in your school and beyond.
Abigail, something that always stood out about you was the way you worship Jesus. I remember in 2nd grade chapels when it came time to sing, that you sang with your whole heart and with so much joy. When you prayed, it was the prayer of someone talking with a friend that she loved. Abigail, my prayer for you is that this sweet friendship with Jesus goes even deeper and that you always praise him with exuberant joy.
Hi Dylan, I really appreciated having you in PE class this year. You have an easygoing personality, you're hardworking, responsible, and a quiet leader. You don't need to be seen, but when you speak, the students listen. I also appreciate your work ethic in class. You did everything I asked with a smile on your face. As you go into middle school, I pray that you continue to be a positive role model and leader to all the students in middle school. You will be amazing.
Hi Samara, I enjoyed having you in my class in 4th grade, and one of the things that I admire about you is that you're always present. You're always willing to help out, jump in, and participate in whatever way possible. I also admire your confidence and your voice. God has given you a voice of strength, and I pray that in middle school, God uses you to speak up for those who might not have a voice, to use your voice to honor and glorify him.
Dear Jack, I remember when you were in my 3rd grade class. One thing I noticed about you was your sense of humor. It was appreciated by all. It made us laugh, and it kept the mood of the classroom light. We never felt that you were laughing at others, but you gave us a chance to laugh with you. As you go into middle school, I pray the Lord continues to bless you with his presence and that he fills you each day with joy and peace, enough to share with those around you. God bless you.
Hi, Athena. I have had so much fun having you in science class. You are kind and considerate, and I just always appreciated how you would contribute in class and how you were engaged in whatever it was that we were learning. And so I just want to wish you the best as you move on to middle school. I pray that you would have fun and that you would be excited, knowing that God has incredible plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but to give you a beautiful future and hope.
Evangelos, when I taught you in 2nd grade, I remember 2 things that really struck me. One was the love you had for your sister. Miss Bates and I used to love to watch the 2 of you when recess ended and it was time to line up, because we could never head back to the classroom without you giving each other a hug first. Second was your great love for soccer and the skill you had in playing it. And Evangelos, my prayer for you is that you and Athena always have that great protective brother-sister friendship, because that's really special, and that you always choose to use the skills that God has given you to honor Him.
Hi, Juliet. I have enjoyed our time together in both the computer lab and in Makerspace these past several years. I remember the times when it happened to be just you and I after school, and your creativity and your excitement to make made me excited as well. Your energy, your passion, the grit that you have, and your joy are just a few of the characteristics of you that I admire so much. As you go on to middle school, I hope that you continue learning and wanting to know more, that you keep creating and fostering that you keep dancing, singing, and acting, because your love for that is so obvious. And the most important, to keep loving Jesus.
Hi Hannah, I enjoyed having you in my class this year. One thing that I've noticed about you is that you are determined. You do all your assignments carefully and to the best of your ability. Another thing that I appreciate about you is that you are cheerful. You are encouraging to all. As you go into middle school, I pray that you continue to grow in joy and love for our caring God.
Hi, Dean. It's been such a pleasure working with you for the past few years. One thing that I really appreciate about you is your willingness to work hard. I loved our conversations about sports and how you always chose healthy snacks when we went into the Grand Cafe after school. As you go into middle school, I pray this blessing from the Old Testament for you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make His face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face to you and give you peace.
Hi Joshua, I really enjoyed having you in PE over the years. You always pay attention and give 100% effort in all that is asked of you, and I really appreciate that. I also know that you are a positive influence on all of those around you. I saw you in friendship circles as all the younger students listened to everything you had to say, as well as your peers on the field as they watched your lead. As you enter middle school, I pray that you continue to be a positive influence. Use your natural ability to be a leader in kindness and doing what's right. You have a very bright future.
Hi Nora, I'm so glad that you came to join our village family and specifically my class last year. You brought a lot of fun to our class and you made many great connections in whatever we were learning. I love how even now as a 5th grader you are quick to say hi. I pray that you will have a great start to middle school and that you will find lots of ways to be a blessing to others there.
The Gettysburg Address, November 19th, 1863. 77 years ago,
our fathers brought forth on this continent
a new nation,
conceived in liberty,
and dedicated to the proposition
that all men are created equal.
Now we are engaged
in a great civil war,
testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived
and so dedicated
can long endure.
We are met on a great
battlefield of that war.
We have come to dedicate a portion of that field
as a final resting place
for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live.
It is altogether fitting and proper
that we should do this.
But in a larger sense,
we cannot dedicate.
We cannot consecrate.
We cannot hallow this ground.
The brave men,
living and dead,
who struggled here,
have consecrated it
far above our poor power
to add or detract. The world will little know,
nor long remember
what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here.
It is for us, the living, rather,
to be dedicated here
to the unfinished work
which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us
to be here dedicated
to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause
for which they gave
the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain,
that this nation under God
shall have a new birth of freedom,
and that government of the people,
by the people,
for the people,
shall not perish from the earth.